Have you ever read an entire English book, understood almost every word, and still couldn't hold a 2-minute conversation the next day? That's not bad luck. That's what happens when you read passively. Reading builds your vocabulary and your understanding, but on its own, it doesn't build your speaking. Those are two different skills, trained two different ways.
So in this video, you're going to learn a step-by-step method that turns simple reading into real speaking practice, using something called a graded reader. If you've never heard the term, don't worry. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what it is, exactly how to use it, and exactly how to turn one short story into pronunciation practice, vocabulary practice, and speaking practice, all at once. A graded reader is a book written specifically for language learners. The vocabulary and grammar are controlled to match your level. Publishers like Oxford, Penguin, and Cambridge produce these in levels, often matched to A1 through C1. Here's why that matters. When a book is too difficult, your brain spends all its energy decoding words. There's nothing left for speaking practice. When a book is too easy, you learn nothing new. A good rule of thumb many teachers use: if you can comfortably understand the page without stopping to check a dictionary more than once or twice, the level is right for you. That comfortable zone is called comprehensible input, language just slightly above what you already know. This is what makes graded readers so powerful for speaking. You're not fighting the text. You have enough spare attention to actually use the language, say it, repeat it, retell it. So here's the real question. How do you turn a graded reader, something you normally just read silently, into an actual speaking workout? That's exactly what this 6-step method does. Here's the whole system in one breath, then we'll go through each step properly. Step 1, choose the right level. Step 2, read it out loud, not silently. Step 3, shadow the audio version, if one exists. Step 4, stop after each page and retell it in your own words. Step 5, extract useful phrases and reuse them in new sentences. Step 6, record yourself summarizing the whole chapter. 6 steps, 1 short story. And by the end, you've trained pronunciation, vocabulary, memory, and speaking from a single graded reader chapter. Step 1, choose the right level. Most learners pick books based on interest alone, which is fine, but level matters just as much. Open to a random page and read one paragraph. Ask yourself, do I understand almost everything without translating? If yes, and only 1 or 2 words are unfamiliar, that level is right. Speaking is physical. Your tongue, lips, and jaw need to physically practice English sounds, and a graded reader gives you a script to practice on, one you already understand. So read every page out loud, at a natural pace, like you're telling the story to someone in the room. Don't rush. If a sentence feels awkward in your mouth, say it again. That awkwardness is exactly what you're training away. Step 3, shadow the audio. Many graded readers come with an audiobook version, and if yours does, this step is where your pronunciation improves the fastest. Play a short passage, maybe 30 seconds. Listen once, then play it again and speak along with the narrator, just a word or two behind, like their shadow. Copy more than the words. Copy the rhythm, the stress, the pauses, the rise and fall of their voice. That's what separates natural sounding English from robotic, word by word English. If there's no audio version, don't worry. Steps 2, 4, 5, and 6 work perfectly without it. Shadowing is a bonus, not a requirement. Step 4. Stop and retell. Here's where reading turns into real speaking practice. After each page, or each short scene, close the book and tell the story back in your own words, out loud. So the woman walked into the shop because she needed a new coat. Then she noticed the shopkeeper was acting strange. You will not remember the exact sentences from the book, and that's the point. You're forced to build your own sentences using your own words under real time pressure. That's speaking practice, not memorization. If you forget a word, don't stop. Describe around it the same way you would in a real conversation. This single habit, read, then retell, is one of the fastest ways to turn passive vocabulary into active, speakable vocabulary. Step 5. Extract and reuse phrases. Every graded reader is full of natural, everyday expressions, phrases native speakers actually use in conversation. Most learners read straight past them. Instead, after each chapter, pick 2 or 3 phrases that felt useful, things you could imagine saying yourself. Say each phrase out loud, then build a new sentence with it about your own life. If the book uses the phrase, "I couldn't believe my eyes," you might say, "I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw the test results." You're not collecting vocabulary lists you'll forget in a week. You're pulling phrases directly out of context and making them yours. Step 6. Record a chapter summary. At the end of each chapter, open your phone's voice recorder and summarize the whole thing in 60 seconds, out loud, no notes. Then, listen back. Don't ask, "Did I sound perfect?" Ask, "Was I understandable? Did I hesitate less than last time?" This single recording becomes proof of your progress. Compare a recording from week 1 to a recording from week 4, and you will hear the difference. Fewer pauses, smoother sentences, more natural phrasing. A few habits quietly waste the value of this method. First, reading silently and calling it practice. Silent reading builds understanding, not speaking. Second, choosing books that are too advanced to feel challenged, then giving up after 2 pages. A book slightly too easy beats a book you abandon. Third, never repeating a level. Rereading a graded reader you've already finished, out loud, faster, more naturally, builds fluency that a brand new book at the same level can't. And finally, skipping the retelling and recording steps because they feel uncomfortable. That discomfort is exactly where the speaking improvement happens. Why this method actually builds speaking. Reading alone builds recognition. You understand a word when you see it. Speaking requires production. Pulling that same word out of memory, under time pressure, out loud. That's exactly what steps 2 through 6 force you to do. Reading aloud trains production of sound. Retelling trains production of sentences. Reusing phrases trains production of natural expressions. Courting trains production under pressure. The closest thing to a real conversation you can practice alone. One graded reader chapter, worked through all 6 steps, gives you more real speaking practice than an entire silent novel.
So here's what I want you to do. Choose one graded reader at the level where you understand almost everything without a dictionary. For the next 14 days, read one short chapter a day using all 6 steps. Out loud, retell it, pull out a phrase, record your summary. Not a whole book in one sitting. One chapter. Every day. Because a short passage, worked through properly, teaches you more than a long passage read passively. After 2 weeks, listen to your very first recording, then your most recent one. You won't just hear more vocabulary. You'll hear someone who hesitates less and speaks more like themselves. Remember this. A book you only read teaches you words. A book you speak out loud teaches you to talk. If this step-by-step method helped you, subscribe and follow along every week as we work through graded readers together, one chapter at a time.